Hello. Good morning to you. Good morning, Nelda. I knew you were coming today. You're really good to come to the lives, and I appreciate that so much. I hope you're doing well. It's a beautiful day here. Hello to those coming in. Good morning to you. It is, well, I'm trying to find the temperature. I can't see it anywhere. I don't know where it is. It's usually on my computer. 73. Yeah, 73 this morning. And it's going to be in the 80s today, but it's not going to be in the hundreds. Days are getting cooler. Thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Good morning, Diane. Is it nice where you are? It's 73 here. It's going to be a beautiful day. The sun is shining. Hi, Sharon. Iced tea and toast with peanut butter. Is that what you have for your breakfast? It might not be breakfast where you are. I don't know exactly where you are. Good morning, LL Jean. You're in early this morning. Oh, Sharon, in California. Okay. Were the fires close to you? Oh, I have been watching those fires because we have subscribers who live in California near those fires. Diana by the Beach is one. Diane, you drinking sweet tea also, huh? I haven't had any sweet tea, y'all, in I guess over a year. I used to drink sweet tea all the time, constantly had uh, tea. Oh, yeah, I knew that it was California and Nevada both. Good morning, Joy. It's been terrible, hadn't it? I mean, devastation. Uh, I saw one YouTube video and it showed horses, dozens and dozens of beautiful horses trying to flee the fire. Good morning, Linda. And they had their little babies with them. They were all running down this highway. Good morning, Chris. Good to see you, my friend. Oh, okay. Artificial sweetener. I used to make sweet tea so sweet it didn't even need a glass to hold it up. It was thick with sugar. I loved it that way. Yeah, horses running down the road. Weren't they beautiful, Sharon? And I just started crying. I'm like, oh, please help. Please help. Good morning, Darlene. How you doing this morning? Good morning, Connie. We were just talking about the fire and all that's going on. Well, thank you very much, Chris. It's always a pleasure to see you, sir. Um, I, Linda, I drink Tang. I drink it all the time. I drink it every day. I love Tang. I was recently sent two containers of Tang, two of those big old containers. Good morning, Rachel. How you doing? Yeah, I know you know. Good morning, Peggy. Good to see you. Um, The fires have been terrible. Their poor homes, y'all. These people have lost their homes, their jobs, their cars. There's been fatalities. I think about all the animals that that lived sort of in the wild out there. You know what I mean? Animals that weren't somebody's house pet. I think about them, the deer, the cats, the dogs, the birds and the bird nests. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm making myself sad. Probably so, Sharon. I can understand that. Yeah. They're terrible, Rachel. Darlene, how you feel? Oh, you just said doing okay this morning. I'm glad to hear it, Darlene. Rachel, I assume your children are doing well. I hope so. I was going to see if Diana was going to come in today because she's right there where the fires are. I mean, they're fairly close to her. That's terrible. It's terrible. I tell you what, if it's not fires somewhere, it's floods. There are places that are flooding. Good morning, Annette. I love the name Annette. Makes me think of Annette Funicello. Youngest son ended up back in the emergency room yesterday. Oh my gosh, Rachel. So is he still in the hospital or did he just go to the emergency room and then bring him home? That's right, Darlene. Connie's granddaughter. We've got several illnesses going on within our group, y'all. Lots of prayers need to go up for them. So waiting on Connie. Hi, Cindy. Good morning to you. I'm having a wonderful day, Annette, so far. Any news, Connie? I am so fortunate. I really am. I mean, yeah, we have fires here and stuff like that, but it's not like y'all have in California. Oh, she's better. Excellent, Connie. I'm glad to hear it. Okay, let me see what Rachel said because she might not have answered. I don't know whether he's in the hospital or she was able to bring him home. Oh, y'all, I'm so sorry. These are times we feel that we just feel helpless, when people we care about, okay, he's in the hospital. People we care about are having problems like that and devastating problems. And yet there's not a single thing we can do except for pray. That's all we can do is pray. Cindy, my day's going to be beautiful here. It's going to be in the 80s. That's right, Annette. Amen. Going to be in the 80s, and I'm done with my house. Except I'm going to work some in the yard over there, trying to clean that up a bit. Ah, Linda, that would be nice. We would like that too. That's all we can do, Connie. I wish we could do more. I sure do. Oh, Rachel. He's a good boy, huh? That's great. That he that when you're facing trials of your own and yet you worry about someone else's trial before your own, that's a good person. Oh, Darlene. It's awful. It's awful. I listed the house in several places, even on Zillow, and I've gotten a couple of thousand views, and I've gotten a lot of people asking about it. And this is the strangest area down here. The minute you tell them that you want to send them a questionnaire, which is screening, y'all, it's qualifying, they don't answer you back. It's like that's foreign to them. In big cities and places like that, you gotta be qualified. You know, that's saying how much do you make? Do you have any evictions? Do you how many animals do you have? That's qualifying, because if your criteria doesn't meet what's on that list, then they don't qualify for your house, and you're wasting your time for them to come out and actually see the house and go through it. And you got to go in there and turn all the lights on, turn on the air conditioner, whatever. And then you, oh, Annette, if you got a house for rent, is that what you're saying? And you, anyway, yes. Sure. Hi, Cheryl. Ah, that's nice. Yep, Cheryl, it sure is. It sure is. We can come in and say what's going on with us and know that other people either understand or sympathize or offer prayer or words of wisdom. That's great. I know, Sharon, but in this area, here's what people are used to. They call an ad and they say, I want to come see it. And they say, come on out and see it. You don't know a darn thing about them, anything. You don't even know if they have a job or anything else. They just want to come and see the house. Now, let me tell you, last night I will, Linda. Last night I got a message on Facebook Messenger from a woman, and her first question was, do you rent to vets? And I answered, yes, of course. I don't have a problem with renting to vets. Absolutely not. Y'all know that well, anyway, I'm a patriotic type person. Yes. Hello, Bill Clinton. And thank you so much. Bill Clinton. Oh, Lord. That's funny. You have a good weekend too, Bill Clinton. I love it. I love to say Bill Clinton all at once. So anyway, I said, I told the lady, I said, I need exactly, LL Jean, exactly. I told her, I said, I'm gonna need to send you a small list of questions for you to answer for me and send back to me. She went nuts. Y'all, she went absolutely bonkers. She cussed me out on Facebook Messenger. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. Uh-oh, sorry, Diane. She was mad. She said, we are good people. What do you think we're going to do? Come out there and wreck your house the minute we get in it? She just went on and on and on. And she called me some really rough words, y'all. Used some rough names. And I mean, as if that's going to make me want to rent to her. I have no problem with vets. I think she thought that she's the only one that has to answer questions before she gets to go and see the house. I honestly think she misunderstood the whole thing. But she's already burned herself now. There's no way in the world I would ever even consider talking to her again, you know? And then I tried to explain, and she goes, "Leave me alone." Okay, that's done. You better believe it. Exactly, darling. You gotta know, do they have a job or what? You know, I had a young man this morning at 6:30. I'm sorry, I've got a hair somewhere and it's driving me nuts. It's these gray hairs. When I get gray hairs, y'all, they want to make sure I know they're there. You know, they won't want to smooth down with all the others. No, they want to stick out, be noticed. So I got one this morning from a young man. He was a very polite young man. He wanted to know if I would consider renting to someone who had a cat. Heck yeah, I will, just so you keep your cat in the house and don't let it out. And the reason why is because I got cats. So I'm okay with somebody having a cat, you know, just so he keeps it in the house. Of course, I know it's going to tear up the walls and all that stuff, but my cats do that. Bodie's the worst ever, or Pumpkinhead, what y'all call him, Pumpkinhead. Anyway, I sent him the questionnaire, and he immediately filled it out, and I got it back. And I read it a little while ago. Y'all, he's got so many strikes against him, it's not even funny. I mean, I don't know his age or anything yet, but he's a single man. I looked at his Facebook profile. He seems to have a couple of kids, but they don't live with him, I guess, because he answered how many occupants with only one adult. He didn't say children. I didn't ask him. You can't ask, you know, you can't discriminate because they have children. But anyway, I wish mine did, Annette. But he told me he was honest as he could be. He said when he was 18 years old, many years ago, he was uh, arrested, I think he said, for possession of marijuana. Well, I don't care what happened 18 years ago. And marijuana, in my opinion, should be legalized anyway. I mean, then they wouldn't have so many arrests and convictions and all that stuff of people using marijuana. They're wasting their time on people with marijuana. Go, go after the really bad guys, you know, robbing banks, stuff like that. Anyway, so then he says on his questionnaire, he said he gave me the name of the apartment house and his lease is ending. He didn't say why the lease is ending, but his next question told me all I need to know. He said, "They're going to tell you that I'm late with the rent, but I've never been late more than 2 weeks." Yeah, and then it does. It does. Well, now, y'all, here's the thing. Let's say I got an electric bill. Linda. Let's say we have an electric bill and it's $200. You think I can call up the electric company and say, "Well, I can pay it in 2 weeks, but I can't pay it now"? I can try, but I guarantee you they're going to say, "You don't pay, we're going to cut it off." Because he had to, Connie, because I already told him I was going to do a background check. He didn't have a choice. He had to come clean because I'm going to find out. I'm going to go and do a background check on everybody. And better to be upfront about it, I guess, than me find out and him lie about it, you know? Anyway, he was honest. But y'all, I can't sit around for 2 weeks wondering when he's going to pay the rent. Here's the thing, what people don't understand. Your house should be your number one priority as far as finances, not your car payment, not your big screen TV payment. Your house is your number one priority, because without your house, you don't have a place to park your new car. You don't have a place to hang your new TV. You don't have electric bill. If you don't have a house, the house is the number one priority. Honestly, it is. And I truly know people whose car payment is more than their house payment or their rent payment. That's nuts to me. Secure a decent home first, then go out and buy your car, or then go out and buy your new refrigerator or your TV or whatever. And it's amazing to me how many people think, well, I need to pay this or that first, and so I'm just not going to pay my landlord. Well, the landlord is waiting on their money to pay their stuff, don't you think? Thank you very much, Cindy. The landlord's got, don't you think the landlord has things too, y'all? I mean, they have electric bill. Maybe they've got a mortgage on their house that they're paying for. Maybe they got a car they're paying for. Maybe they got medical bills they need to pay for. Landlords aren't rich people, except if you're Donald Trump or somewhere in that level. They're not rich people, the majority, because they've got bills too. And so it's ridiculous to me to think that tenants think it's okay not to pay your landlord, but pay other stuff before your rent. Because if you lose your house, you're on the side of the road with everything you own in your shiny new car, wouldn't you say? So I don't understand the thinking about that, for him to say, well, I can pay it in 2 weeks. And then I'm hoping to be able to pay the deposit then also. Well, then don't make your car payment so outrageous that you can't pay your house payment, because you know. Yeah, and then here too. See, that's another thing landlords have to pay: property tax and insurance, and those are going up sky high, crazy. The insurance on a house. Exactly, Darlene. Yeah, if you're already in a house, or you're paying rent on the house, let's say, or you own the house, you got to pay that. You got to pay it before you secure more debt. You got to. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with all those shoes and handbags and clothes that you order from Temu if you don't have a place to keep them? Well, Linda, if you can afford a new car and your house payment or rent, then go for it. But I've got to have insurance on the house, and I've got to pay for the taxes that go up every year. Tattoos. Tattoos. But yeah, so I can't wait 2 weeks for him to, maybe 2 weeks at best, for him to pay. See, he needs to budget during the week. He knows that that rent payment's coming up. Yeah, they are. Oh my gosh, Darlene, that costs more than my house does, for sure. New cars, more than my house. So anyway, he said a whole bunch of stuff Uh, I appreciate the fact that he, well, I don't see it now. Where in the heck is it? I appreciate the fact that he was honest with me. Yeah, it is, Connie. Where in the heck is that? Oh, please don't tell me oh, here it is. Yeah, he was honest. So he says he can pay the deposit on the 20th, which is this coming Friday. He can pay the deposit. But down here, he says, I was hoping to pay the deposit and the first month's rent the next week. He ought to know whether he can or not. He's the only one that knows how much money's in his bank, you know? Anyway, look, listen to this. Number 8, credit is terrible. That's what he said. Credit is terrible. He was honest, but surely he could have put it a different way, wouldn't you think? I wouldn't ever say credit is terrible. Maybe it could be improved or something like that. That's right. They won't pay the bills. Oh, absolutely, Joy. He already knows he's going to be late. He already knows it. Yeah, 1 point for honesty. Oh, well, anyway, so on we go. So I had someone cuss me out, and I had this one. He's honest, but I can't. I'm sorry. I would kind of have liked him to, it's a guy living over there. That's sort of nice to know, not just me to fight off the burglars when they come. Uh, so, but unfortunately, he's starting out really bad in life. He's got a lot of things against him already. And he looked like a young man from his picture. I have no idea how old he is. Anyway, so there's that. That's kind of sad because I would have liked to have a guy with a cat, so because he wouldn't complain about mine. It's the way I feel about it. But that's not going to work out. So we just keep going. Our Jackie is not with us today. She's gone to a birthday party for a 90-year-old lady. Jackie is a good girl. Going to celebrate. Can you imagine? Yeah, I'm not discouraged. I mean, I've only had it on there something like 4 days. I put it up there or posted on the 10th. So I've only had it 4 days. Yeah, he did, Sharon. He did. He told me he works for her. I think so, Darlene, because his Facebook page shows him sitting there with an infant and then a toddler. That's right. And yet, but I think so, Darlene. I think because there was a picture of a woman with him with this child. So here's the thing. He may not even be divorced. He may be like separated. And there comes a whole new set of problems, doesn't it? Because you know how people are. They break up, they get back together, they break up, they get back together. So, and he may not be here very long anyway if she takes him back. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know where she lives. Right, Linda. Maybe a baby daddy. I believe so. Uh, Not that I know of, LL Jean. I mean, Brian, I don't know where he could. If he did, he's anyway. I've got it posted, and so here's the deal. I'm not in a hurry. It's sat there a whole year. I would like to have the money, yes, but it's only 4 days, y'all. Yeah, you do, Linda. You got to check everything. You got to check background and uh, Darlene. Here's the problem with traveling nurses. My house is unfurnished. I don't have a bed in there. I don't have a table and chairs in there. I don't have a couch in there. Traveling nurses have to have furniture. They don't bring in all that stuff with them and move it in a house for 3 weeks or 3 months and then move on. They, you got to have furnished places. You got to have pots and pans and dishes and all that kind of stuff. So you can't do that. And that's why I can't have an Airbnb, y'all. Somebody asked me one time, why don't you do an Airbnb? No, I would have to think I would have to have knives and forks and spoons and pots and pans and coffee pots and, you know, because all they bring in is their toothbrush and their thing of coffee. You got to have everything furnished. So, nope, can't do that too. There's just a heck of a lot of things that besides that, they're there maybe 1 or 2 months and then they're out. Then you got to go in and clean up whatever mess they made, and they're not careful about things and move on. And somebody else come in and back and forth and make me nuts. So yeah, traveling nurses, no, no can do. So anyway, like I said, I'll get it done, and I'm not worried about it that much. It would be nice if somebody perfect came along immediately. Here's another one, y'all. So I had this message from a young woman, and I like to check Facebook pages if I can because you can learn a lot about people uh, about what they post on Facebook. People aren't very careful sometimes. I went to her Facebook page. Her language is atrocious. Her language is worse than, they always say, cuss like a sailor. Ooh, she's got them beat. I have never in my life seen a female person who talks like that. Never. On her posts. No, Cindy, we don't. Mm-mm. It is, Diane, for sure. I mean, she's not afraid to tell anybody off. She's not afraid to. She had a run in with some grocery store. I saw that and screamed and yelled in their aisle, and she thought she was, could do that if she wanted. Can't do that. And if you're going to do that and you're looking for a place to live, at least make your most of your posts private so that your prospective landlord won't read it. Exactly, Ella Jean. Well, again, I would have to furnish it with everything. You have to have a TV in there, and you have to have a coffee pot in there, and tables and chairs and beds and sheets and blankets and you know towels, washer, dryer. Think of I couldn't afford just to put the stuff in there that they would need. So no, I can't do stuff like that. And besides that, it wouldn't be rented very long. Most people don't stay in an Airbnb more than a few days to a week, for like vacation time. That's all they use it for. Couldn't do that. They're just things that are not uh, that are not open to me. And I'm glad, because that's too much. Yes, big headache for sure. So, anyway, enough about me. Enough about me. I'm done with it. I The right one will come along. Exactly, it will. I can't. I can't worry about it. Hopefully, Darlene. Hopefully, I don't hardly see that happening in this area. This is a cheap area, and people just can't get it through their head that you are going to be vetted. The landlord wants to know information about your goods and bads before they even unlock the door to the lock over there, and let you in to look at it. It's got to be that way in this day and time, y'all. I mean, imagine if somebody. Oh, I had one woman the other day that said, "Can I run out and look at it right now?" No. How about no? She said, "Well, can I just drive by?" But here's the thing: I've got on the webpage the outside of the house. When I drive by, you're going to see the exact same thing, aren't you? It's going to be the exact same thing on the picture, isn't it? I've got the picture. I've got all the insides. Yep. Yeah, well, yeah. So they will argue. I had one guy say, "Well, I see that you don't accept dogs," and I said, "No," and he said, "I said no." I said, "I really can't do that. I don't have a fenced-in yard." He said, "Oh well," he said, "my German shepherds, I have two, and I'm gonna take them out on a leash each time." He's got two German shepherds. He takes them out on a leash. One of my cat runs across the driveway over here on his own property. What do you think that German shepherd's going to do? Yeah. Well, sure, Darlene, that's the way it is. In between the times when Bobby was a barber, he also sold mobile homes, and they screen they screen the people. They want to know about where do you work, and something is on my lip. Sorry. They want to know how much you make per month. Uh, yeah, I mean, all kinds of things, because you know, your home is the most expensive thing you own. And when you're renting a home, you're expecting that landlord to let you live in one of the most expensive things they own. So naturally, they're going to want to know about your background, or how if you can afford it. This young man that I had this morning, he can't afford it. I mean, he makes the money, but it sounds like he's not using his money wisely, or like Darlene said, which I believe, he's probably paying child support. That's what I think. And it's him and his cat that want to live in the house. And I think that's why he can't pay uh, why he's late with his payment every month, 2 weeks late, because he's got all this other stuff. But you got to put the priority. Child support is his number one priority, if that is the case. But his house is his next priority. And then it's his utilities, his next priority. Then comes car or whatever else, the toy that he wants to, own. Hello, Sean. How are you? You got that house yet? Y'all, that's my neighbor Sean, lives right down the road. By the way, I came down that way the other day and the house is gorgeous. I love the paint on it. I noticed you cut down those big old trees up front. Thank you, Rachel, dear. Thank you so much. And I like that you painted the garage to match your house. Yeah, Connie, that's right. Those are big old trees that were right there in that one clump, Sean. Right there on the like that little hill before you get to the ditch. Yep, I'm sure it is. Good deal. Well, I hope you and your lady are doing well. I sure do. Haven't seen your sister in so many years. I wouldn't know her, I don't guess. Next time she comes, I'd love to see her. Maybe she'll come see you sometime, Sean. Does she ever do that? Tattoos. Tattoos. We're talking about loud people um, answering my ad on my house, Sean. I've got it listed. I wish I didn't have to have it, y'all. I wish I didn't because it's going to be a pain in the neck no matter what. I'm sure she's beautiful. That's what she looks like. She's beautiful. She's always been beautiful. Um, and I would love to not have it, and not need it, and not have to depend on it, and not. You did. Thank you so much. That's very nice of you. I appreciate you. Good deal. So, there are people, this group that I'm in, this landlord group, that they've got like 100, they call them doors. They don't call them houses. They don't call them apartments. They don't call them condos. I have 100 doors, they say. I've got one door, one door, but they mean their properties. They are full time landlords. Oh yeah, dang, several hundred doors. Isn't that weird? I never get used to calling it that. Um, but they have a lot of problems. Good, good, Sean. That's great. I know she loves it where she is. She says we have 4 seasons. She told me that we have 4 seasons up here. We do too, except uh, very short spring, unfortunately, and very short fall, unfortunately. But we have 4 seasons. So uh, I'm almost. I want the cool, winter, the cooler weather to come, but then I've got to get busy and put my shelters up back there for my cats. And this time I'm going to buy I bet, oh, they have, Ella Jean. It's interesting. Uh, it's interesting to read. I'm going to buy an electric blanket, a twin electric blanket for my cats this year and spread it over this table thing that I have on my porch so they can get up under there. Yeah, it is. I think so too, Sean. I've seen her pictures with her out in the snow. I can do without that snow. Diane, yeah, yeah. So I got a front door, a back door, and oh, so there you go. We have a barn door, a shed door, your house door. But I wish I didn't have to do it, y'all, but I do. Joy, they're great. I had one last year for them and put it down under their shelter I made for them, and and I used it, and it quit working, but it wasn't new. It was an older one anyway. But I had a subscriber, a very kind subscriber, that sent me a heated mattress pad for my bed. That thing is fantastic. Oh my gosh, it's like tufted, and I do not even, oh, Annette, we're doing that down here all the time. Not my neighborhood, but on down in the town. It's constant looking for somebody. Anyway, I don't even need an electric blanket, the top cover anymore now that I have that heated mattress pad. It's fantastic. I love it. And it's washable because I've already washed it. We've had quite a few shootings down here lately. Like I say again, not my neighborhood, but it's further down. And there was a guy yesterday, Sean, that was walking around an apartment complex shooting people. Just at random, just shooting people. I mean, holy cow, people taking in their groceries from the car. He's shooting at them. Isn't that something? Now, they did catch him. They caught him last night. I'm glad to hear that. But he'll probably out on bond or something in 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, that's the way they do. Of course, I understand that. Imagine if they kept everybody right off the loop. Oh my gosh, Darlene, you know what? And he's not going to do anything about it. You said he was in, did you say he was in a Mercedes, your husband? That, I mean, imagine how much it's going to cost to get that sucker fixed. And that guy that you're talking about, the FedEx truck guy, he hit a whole bunch of people, didn't he? Well, 2003 or 2023, it's still going to cost a heck of a lot to fix it. Oh, you think they'll total it, Darlene? That was a lot of damage that you posted a picture of. Oh, that sounds great. Annette, how nice. Yeah, they don't go out in the country. There are too many good old boys out in the country that shoot them, Diane. Yeah, it is, Connie. It absolutely is. People that just do horrible things. And y'all, we've had 3 school systems here in the last week that somebody called in threats to students. 3 different campuses, and they had to close it down, and all the parents rushed up there and got their kids and took them home. 3 different schools just in this area alone. I remember there was I think there was shooting during Brian's senior year, and we had to go down and get our kid and bring him home. Yeah, I knew that, Darlene. Yeah, the guy stole the FedEx guy's truck. Got you. Huh. Didn't think about that, but you're right. But they don't. They get it out of those trucks, and they don't. Sometimes they don't even turn them off. Just let them run. You know, there used to be 3 places that we could send our children knowing they were safe: church, school, home. We know about church. There's been a lot of shootings in church. A lot of people have passed away because of shootings in church. A lot of school shootings. A lot of children have lost their lives because of school shootings. You know that. We can just, it seems like it's getting worse and worse and worse. The only other place you have is home, and then you got to be extra careful there that some nutcase isn't going to break in and shoot everybody. Yes. Yes, Sean. Because she was in the same class as Brian. So, yep, I remember having to go up there and get Brian. You know, Connie, I've found by reading all of those, they're mostly the kids that are bullied by their peers. Those are the ones like Dylan Claybold, Bold, and can't think of the other guy's name. I just know about Dylan that shot up that high school and caused the demise of all those children. Those guys were bullied. They were made fun of and bullied. This new guy that's done all this, he says he was bullied as well. There probably are people sitting in here right now watching this that were bullied when you were in elementary school, junior high school, whatever. Probably you were bullied at one time or another. Probably, maybe not all of you, but maybe some of you. But you didn't grow up to be somebody that busts into a school, and you didn't do it back then when you were bullied. You didn't bust in through a school and start shooting up everything. I mean, I don't get it. I just don't. Yeah, we all have things. It's a people problem. I know, Darlene. Oh, oh, no. Going to pick up his daughter from school, hit in the parking lot. Exactly, Connie. You don't. I mean, I had this girl. Me too, Sean. I did. There was this girl in my class. She was a holy terror. She was hateful. And I knew exactly where she lived, but I didn't go over to her house and shoot her. And I didn't come in school and shoot everybody else. I don't know many people that weren't bullied, Sean. Really don't. I mean, oh, sure, there were some, but there were a lot of folks bullied back then. And unfortunately, you know what? No parent ever wants to believe that their kid bullies someone else. It's like, not my little Johnny. Oh, no, not my little baby. Oh, yeah, lady, your kid. They never want to believe their kid is a bully. 10 felony hit and runs. Good gosh. Stole a FedEx truck now. Well, I certainly did in that. I sure did. That's one good thing about graduating from high school. You don't have to see them again if you don't want to. I remember this one girl. Now, she was mean. She was mean to me. She embarrassed me. She humiliated the heck out of me because I was smaller than everybody in my class at that time. I was. And many years later, I was going to the post office, not in Gilmer, but in Longview. And I saw her, and I was doing my mailing, and she came up and she said, "Mary," and I was stone faced. I remember, I don't know how I managed it. I said, "No, you have the wrong person," and I turned and walked away. I'd like to have done that, but I didn't. So I already knew I was gonna, if I ever saw her again, I was gonna pretend like I didn't know who the hell she was. Excuse me, but I did, and so I don't have to think about it anymore. Well, I don't think there is, Linda. I think being picked on and made fun of or used the butt of somebody's joke is being bullied. I got him, Connie. I got her back. Yeah, and they say, Darlene, they say now, you know, if somebody beats you up on the playground, man, you beat them back up. You're the one that's going to get expelled. Teachers will expel you. You, you have the wrong person. I'm sorry, you have the wrong person. Mm. So, I mean, what was I going to do? Say, you know, you were a bad person back then. I'm, well, I won't tell because something happened to her, but I won't tell it because I didn't do it to her. So just so I didn't. Anyway, y'all, let me tell you something funny. Do y'all watch shorts on YouTube? I was watching a short last night, and there's this Cajun guy. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They have their own language, sort of. These Cajun guys are real country, as country as you can get. Very proud of being Cajun, by the way. So he was making a hamburger steak, and he had made his patties, got them all put together and all that, and he fried them in some grease, which, by the way, you only need that much grease. You don't need that much grease. But he fried his hamburger patties, flipped them over, and then he took them out. Then he took his spoon and he scraped off all the stuff that, you know, how hamburger meat will do when it's fried. And he added his onions in there, and then he said, now you want to add about 2 tablespoons of wash your sister's sauce. Wash your sister's sauce. Y'all know what he's talking about? I laughed. Yeah, that has been a difficult word to pronounce for everybody. Worcestershire. Wash your sister. Oh, he's a funny guy, but anyway. Good morning, Kathy. How nice to see you today. I'm glad you came in. We have 32 in here. That's nice. Isn't it funny, Connie? I love him. I love that guy. How y'all are is what he says. Now, how you doing? How y'all are? Thank you, Kathy. Yes, Worcestershire. Oh, Darlene, good for you, girl. Good for you. Good morning, Diana by the beach. I talked about you a while ago, but it was good. So, how's thing going out there and how you doing? Because you're injured. And then you got all those dark, y'all, Diana not only is around the fires out there, she had an earthquake. Can you believe it? And here she is injured, can't take care of herself. And I thought I had problems. I don't know who he is, Sean. I don't know, but I love it. Me too, Ella Jean. That's what he used to say too, wasn't it? How y'all are. Well, Diana, I don't know the situation on the fires, Hello, JB. How you doing? I don't know the situation on the fires today, and I don't know. Hi, Liz. Good morning to y'all. I'm gonna have to start coming in about 11 o'clock because that seems when everybody actually gets up from their Friday night. I know, Diane. It was. Yeah, still raging. Yes, yes. Yeah, Darlene. But man, they like spicy stuff, don't they? Especially like their gumbo. They like it to be real spicy. I have never been very fond of gumbo, not at all. I can't handle it too hot. Well, it's just kind of sitting there right now. I've only listed it 4 days ago, Kathy. I've gotten some responses, but I don't have anybody yet that's very promising. Let's put it that way. And I have relaxed my pet policy. I don't want a dog, but I will take an indoor cat, even though I know he's going to scratch the heck up out of the walls and the frames. Oh, Darlene, gosh. I think so, LL Jean. I think so. I seem to remember that. Gosh, we a lot of good programs. You'll never have ulcers. That's what Bobby thought too. But and he likes spicy food. A little for me and a little for you. He was an older man even when he did that program. There used to be some guys that lived over there. I think they lived in Louisiana, and they bug and exterminators, animal, yeah, wasp and bees and snakes, and they'd come to your house. And he had a television show, and he was really, really popular. I can't remember his name, but they're off the air now, and I don't know what happened. It's kind of like Bobby and I used to watch Texas Flip and Move, and one of y'all in here knew the Snow sisters that were on there, Tony and can't think of the other one. Dadgummit. Tony and something. I can't think of her name, and I just saw it the other day. But Bobby and I would sit down every week and watch that show, and I love that show. You get a lot of great ideas from watching them and how they redecorate and all that stuff on a strict budget. They buy these old houses. Yes, LL Jean. Can't think of his name. I can't think of his name at all. But yes, he had spikes on his wristbands and leather vests and all kinds of stuff. And they'd go off different places over in Louisiana, and they caught alligators before. They caught venomous snakes. Um, but they took him off the air, and I can't remember. He did something, and it was illegal in some way, and he lost his show because of it. And that's kind of what happened to one of the ladies on Texas Flip and Move. She said she made a comment. And she didn't mean it bad, But you know how nowadays everybody is when you say something the least bit wrong, they get all offended and call you prejudiced. Well, she said something that they claim was racist. And it's an old saying, and we probably used it a million times. And she said it on TV, and they didn't cut it out. They didn't clip that part out, and they fired her because of it. So man, yeah. And then after that, the whole show went down, and it just totally lost. Yes, Joy. Good girl. Billy the Exterminator, LL Jean. That's who it was. I loved it. I loved the show. Good morning, Becky. Gilbert, Arizona. Well, Becky, it's 72 here today. Beautiful, beautiful day, and I kind of figure you're a lot warmer than that. Yep, LL Jean, that was it. Billy the Exterminator. And his mama ran the office. Remember her? And she used to have all this, I call it ratted hair. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Teased hair, bouffant type hair. And it had a ton of hairspray. I like them too, Darlene. I like listening to them. Can't understand them. But it's like when I watch British shows, I have to turn and close caption because I can't keep up. They talk, in my opinion, they talk fast. We talk slow. We're not in a hurry. But in my opinion, the British talk really fast. So I use closed caption so that I can understand what they're saying. Especially little kids, man, they talk fast. Yeah, 80s here also, Kathy. So all your folks were from Louisiana. No, darling, you live in Georgia, don't you? Yes, you do. I named my rose Darlene's Rose. It's growing really well. It had a lot of blooms on it in the spring, and it's just gonna totally. I have to keep winding it in and out that lattice thing back there. Me too, Diana. So I'll learn what they're saying, especially because I love to watch court shows. Oh, it's doing great, Darlene. It's beautiful. It is thick and full, and yeah, it did really well. So its name is Darlene's Rose. Just wanted you to know that. You know how I like to name things after people. And so I have a Diane's Rose too that's over next door. And she was my sister-in-law that I absolutely adored. So I like doing that. Anyway, I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I don't have to. I could go over there and work because I've got a little bit to do in the yard, but the house is totally finished, y'all. I don't even have to. I think I've got. Yeah, Darlene, that's what I do. Oh gosh, Diane, because wisteria, gets great big around the vines can get the vine. I had a wisteria on a fence once, and those vines get so big and grow in and twist and turn till my chain link fence was broken and pulled plumb out of the ground. No, Cindy, I'm not going to. I'm not going to put a sign out in front. I have advertised on Facebook. I've advertised in several groups in this area, and I'm on Zillow. And I do not nice, Darlene. It did nice, but this year I want to plant it in the ground. The reason I planted it in those pots, Darlene, is because I didn't know where I wanted it to be, finally wanted it to be. So that's why I put it in, kept it in the pot. Yeah, me too, Sean. Brian had a whole bunch of big oak trees down. Oh, how nice. Yorkshire, England. Y'all should join, if you're not, join our Facebook group. We have Jackie in there who works in London, and she goes to Buckingham Palace and y'all, where'd she go recently? Wales, something in Wales. Darlene, I have one that's pink and I have one that's orange. I know that, Cindy, but they're going to pull in the driveway and see it. And I've already, I don't want to do that. Yeah, yeah. That's what I was telling her, LL Jean. They pulled my fence, pulled it plumb up out of the ground. If you've got it on lattice, Diane, it'll tear that lattice up. It will flat weave in and out that lattice until it's twisted and it'll ruin it. That's a invasive, as beautiful as it is, it's invasive and causes a great deal of destruction. Put it, see if you can put it somewhere out further in your yard. In fact, if you plant it right in the middle of your yard, Diane, you can train it to look like a big bush or tree. There it is. Ella Jean just said it. Look at us. We're thinking alike. Train it into a tree, and you can do that. Yep, because I did that. Dayton, Florida, with the orange. It's a double day lily. Ah, well, Rachel, that is exactly what you do show, how loving and kind and accepting you are, because that is the kind of person you are. And I get that understanding of you every time you post something. You're just a kind person. Right. Trim it into a tree. Jumanji. I like bougainvillea. Bougainvillea. Bougainvillea, I guess. I don't know what she said. We did, Connie. That's right. I was telling y'all go join my Simple Cottage Life friends and family on Facebook. You got to answer two questions. You just got to answer just two questions. It's not, the number of your firstborn. It's not, how much money do you make? It's simple little questions everybody would know. But we have a lot of interesting topics there. Like I said, uh, Diana has shared with us things about the fire that's going on out there. Um, wash your sister, wash your sister sauce, and Jackie shares what inside Buckingham Palace. She went. I know what she did. She went to the castle, the place where the Queen's coffin was lowered into the floor. Now, I love Morning Glory. I used to have a big kind of a thingy I grew morning glory on. The thing is, where I am, I don't know if they do where you are, Diane, or not, but I can put seeds out and they will keep coming up year after year after year, because I noticed them yesterday over in a flower bed. My little morning glories are coming up. What was your sister? Or bougainvillea? Or bougainvillea? I don't know. Murdering morning glory, yeah. Scarlet bean rudder. I don't know about that one. Dana, are you getting better? Are you getting to where you can get around now? No, not if it's going to be a vine, Diane. Unless, well, you don't want a rose because it's going to have thorns all over it. But at least it's not going to tear your fencing up and stuff like that. Yeah, they are, Darlene. What'd you just say? What'd she just say? I don't know. I'm reading it, but I don't know what you said. It looks like you're saying I can walk on water for 7 minutes. Oh, maybe so. Walker. Sharon, you and I both are wrong. We thought she was talking about walking in water. She's walking on a walker for 7 minutes. She's got to have a walker, Cindy. She broke some important stuff by falling, and yeah, walker. That was funny. Good, Darlene. Okay, Sean. It's good to see you, and thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for sharing my house. I do appreciate that so much. You and your sweet wife have a great weekend. I wonder how some of y'all do chat with your phones. I know you do. Most of you do, I guess. Okay, Rachel. I hope I hope he gets better real soon and can come home, be back with y'all again. Yeah, Diana. Yeah. We were thinking, she's saying, I have to walk on water for 7 minutes. I that's got to be hard, y'all, because those little old keys that y'all are typing. Brian could hold his phone and do this kind of thing with his thumbs. I can't do it, man. I am picking, pick. And, but I also know that you might do the talking, where you talk into your phone. Well, I don't. I'm going to tell you, I'm getting to where I use my phone more now than I used to, for everyday tasks, but I really depend on my desktop PC. I really do. Yeah, thumb talking. That's what they're doing. Arthritis in my thumb. Oh, Annette. Right. Oh, you do, Diana. So you got it going. So you're like in here twice? Yeah, you'd be in here twice. If you're watching it on TV and then you're sitting there, you're in here twice. So Diane's taking up 2 spaces. But that's okay. We got lots of seats. Okay, Darlene, you have a good weekend. Hugs and prayers for you too. 2 thumbs up. Yeah, probably so, Linda. That's great. Well, good, Diane. Thank you. Diana. We've got a Diana. Hey, JB's in here twice. That's good. That's great. Makes it look like we got more than we really do. Here he comes with another text. Diane, Bobby had a cell phone, but it wasn't a fancy kind like we had now. It was back then. It was a flip phone, and he couldn't text. He tried, but he wasn't very good at it, and he never did it. So, gosh. I got to thinking, y'all, you know, these little things that we use all the time like this. I mean, we can go and we can look up anything in the whole world. Uh, you can just speak into it and it'll automatically text for you. And most amazing, these are little computers, the most amazing. And my mind is boggled by the technology of such a thing. Because my mother and my father, of course, uh, didn't live to see this kind of advancement in technology. They would be amazed. Even Bobby would be amazed by some of the things we can do with I can type real fast on a uh, keyboard, Annette, but I can't do it on my phone. Can't do it. My I need bigger I need bigger keys to be able to do that. Yeah, Cindy. Yeah. My Bobby didn't have a smartphone. Not not like they are now, you know. He just didn't, but I guess, you know, I probably would have been texting him all the time if I knew he knew what to do about it. But he was the kind of person that you have to be real careful what you send to him because he will click on any link there is, and next thing you know, he's liable to be trying to buy a car or something. He didn't understand. He didn't understand that you cannot just click on some link that you see. He'd see a blue something there and he'd click on it, you know. He would have been one of those people that the scammers really go for, that kind of person. I know, Connie. I know. I just nearly go crazy when the internet goes out. We're just so used to that. It's like a lifeline, you know? Yeah, allergy, no kidding. It is kind of shocking when you think about it, isn't it? Call anywhere in the world from a device in your pocket. I remember the first car phones. My brother-in-law had one. It's one that you have to plug in. That sucker was that big, you know, and you can carry it around in a bag and then or plug it into the cigarette lighter in your car. Oh, Linda, really? Yeah. I know little kids, I know all the time I've seen people say that their kid gets on there and orders stuff from Amazon, and there's a little thing I've got over here that, thank goodness Brian gave it to me. I can't say her name. Y'all know her name. She's the A word. The A word is what she is. And it actually saved my life that morning when I got locked out of the house. But you can just say order order whatever on Amazon and she will. That's pretty much true, Connie. If I can't figure it out, I asked Brian, but he's still my kid. Yeah, wait, Linda, till she orders something that's thousands of dollars worth. Yes, Diane. I had a whole couple of sets of encyclopedias and cookbooks. Bobby used to order cookbooks. He was in some kind of club and he would order those cookbooks and you'd get one like every 2 months. And man, we had stacks and stacks of beautiful cookbooks. And he would I've got pictures of him sitting on the couch, you know, thumbing through his cookbooks, reading his cookbooks. He loved cookbooks. But I don't even use a cookbook anymore. I just look it up I just Google it. I don't remember. I don't remember when I got one, Diana. I'm thinking, wow, seriously. I think it was 2000. I think it was 2000 before I got a cell phone. Yeah, I think so. And I remember saying, I don't want a cell phone. I don't want one of those darn cell phones. I'm going to be in the car going somewhere, going to see my granddaughter or whatever in Dallas, and that silly cell phone would ring. And I didn't want one. I fought against it for a long, long time. And finally, I got one. Didn't use it all that much, but now I cannot go over to this house over here without taking my phone because, for one thing, I'm afraid I'm going to fall. I went over there yesterday to feed Miss Callie, and it had been raining, and that dirt had kind of washed onto the patio, and I slid, y'all. I mean, like that. The bottom half of me probably looked like I was skiing, but the top half of me was all over the place. But I managed to catch myself from actually going down, but I am shocked that I didn't. And I didn't have my cell phone. So Brian was out of town. I didn't have my cell phone. Cindy. Oh, yeah. Without the dog, the cell phone. How funny. Flip, mine too, Diane. It's called a Razor. We had, back then, Verizon was called Alltel, and that's what we had. So we have been with Verizon all these years from the very beginning. It's Alltel until they changed to be Verizon. And we had a Razor flip phone, and it was bright red. Yeah, I remember it. I think Bobby's cell phone, his last cell phone, is over there in that box in there that I keep his stuff, his wallet and his watch and, stuff like that. I'm looking to see what Tully's doing. She's going off in there for some reason. Well, y'all, let's see what we got. An hour and 29 minutes. I'm hungry for something good. but I don't want to eat because I've lost weight. She's good, Diane. She's a good baby. She she misses her sister. Yeah, yeah, Jean. I know it. They did. They had these. You remember you had to pull up this big antenna? Oh my gosh. They have really come along, haven't they, with their gadgets and smart TVs, things like that. Yeah, she misses her a lot, Diane. She does. I went off one time to go to the grocery store, something. I got down several miles and turned around and came back because I had left my phone. I was afraid to go out and not take my phone. Oh, nice, Cindy. Widow's luncheon today at 2. How nice. I never had one of those, Diane. I never had a beeper. No, that's invasive. That's too invasive. That's the thing about it too, y'all. Because we have cell phones, we take them in the bathroom. You'd think so, Joy, wouldn't you? And I thought about it. I thought about going and getting that cheesecake, or at least having a Coke float or a vanilla shake or something. But Joy, I've lost 30 pounds and I don't want to put it back on. I, I, I just don't want to put it back on. And so I'm eating stuff that none of y'all would eat. Y'all just wouldn't. Like last night for my dinner, y'all, I had smoked oysters on crackers out of that, the can that they come in. Smoked oyster on cracker. That's what I had. Oh my gosh, Annette, yeah. I, I I don't eat breakfast. I seldom eat lunch. So I sort of do dinner in between because I don't eat anything after 7 o'clock. And Diane, I eat what's that other sardines. I eat sardines and crackers a lot. Well, Chris, are you talking about little pumpkin head, the one I call Bodie? She's adorable and I love her so much. She's sweet. Sometimes she wants to play and gets real rough, but most of the time she likes to rub up against my leg or come and get on the back of my chair. Well, Connie, that's how come I've lost the weight. See, uh, if I'm working, I don't want to take the time to eat, so I can keep working, and that's how come I lost all that weight. I've lost, yeah, 30 pounds. I love them, Diana. I like them a lot. Sardines, Linda. What do you? I wish I knew what you said. Hi, Martha. What would I don't know what else to say it except sardines. Sardines. Is that what you mean? Is that what I did? No, I don't, Diane. I'm not going to do any more. No, I don't think so, Connie. I think what that was blood pressure. It was my blood pressure, and now my blood pressure's leveled out finally for the first time in my whole life. But I have to go back to the doctor in a couple of weeks to make sure it's everything okay because I only get my medications she only lets me have them right now every 30 days instead of a 90-day supply like I like. Uh, I like getting 90 days at a time so I don't have to go to the pharmacy very much. Y'all know I am cheap, cheap, cheap when it comes to gas. Well, I don't, LL Jean. Nope, I hadn't, Diane, and I want one so bad I can't stand it. I really want frozen strawberry margarita. How you doing, Martha? It's good to see you. I love oysters, especially. I know, Diane. Wouldn't that be great? Oh no, Diana. Girl, mine was almost 200 and mine was like 229 over 100 and something. It was ridiculous. I haven't taken my blood pressure in a while. I need to do that because I was keeping a record from my doctor, and I haven't done that in several weeks. I need to get back on it because she's going to want to know. It's kind of like my homework. She gave me homework. All I have to do is take my blood pressure and write it down. Somebody sent a little heart. Okay, y'all. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix my glass of Tang, and I'm going to have that. I have to make notes when I talk to y'all. Yeah, that's too high, girl. That's way too high. Because she wants me she wants me to keep taking my blood pressure. See, bye, Linda. Are you leaving? Bye bye. Thanks for coming in. Um, because they have to regulate and raise it or lower it. And so she's thinking if they just give me the 90, it, what difference if I can't take some of it? What difference does it make? It's only $10 for heaven's sake for 90 pills. Well, no, they've raised it now. I forgot about that. Okay, Ella Jean, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Anyway, she wants me to regulate it and get it right. And then finally, she will give me 90 pills at a time, which is what I like. Thank you, JB. I appreciate that so much. Uh, it 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 turned out nice and clean. Is at least I got it done. It took me a long darn time, didn't it? So yeah. So y'all, I'm gonna go, and I want to thank you all for coming. I want y'all all hope y'all have a great weekend, and I will see you down the road or see you at the fence. So hope God is good to you today. Thanks for joining in. I appreciate everybody. Thanks a lot. Love y'all. Bye bye.